This is my greenhouse. I built it for about $200. So let me explain to you how I did it. I've had it for about almost 6 years now. This is polycarbonate panels. Now this is new to it. I did this year. I took down the other and I paneled in the sides. That way I can only have to replace this tarp, which by the way is a pool, a solar pool cover. It's so thick. I don't know if you can tell. And it has air locks in it, so it stays really insulated a lot better than a normal tarp would. I had a normal tarp on it, and it just it didn't do as well. So I had the 12 mil reinforced clear tarp. So I built my door, and it has warped over time. I don't know if you see the warpage. But that thing was heavy when I mounted it, so there you go. This is made with three, they're 4 by 16 foot, they're called cattle panels, and you can get them at Tractor Supply store. I think mine was like $20, but I think I might have got them on sale for $18, but they ran about $20. They're worth it. They bow over, and I don't know if you can tell, but I'm pulling on it. It takes a very good snow load. So if you're in a place that just a normal greenhouse or something wouldn't do as well, I would go for the cattle panels. It actually runs cheaper and it builds itself. You don't even have to have a support from one end to the other. I did, however, hook them all together with wire. It's hard to see because let me go on the other side. I'll show you. See. But keep in mind when you're doing a greenhouse, it's okay to put a couple of pavers down or something like that, but you do not want to concrete your floor in. You want as much ground moisture as possible. That's what's going to keep it warm. So you can actually have a garden in the winter time. I just have to show you this little bit of cats out here. It's an easy build. Pretty much you can build you 2 boxes together. These are 12 foot, I think, by 3 foot wide. And then I did a back bed. I prefer bedded gardening. I can get more plants in here. If you prefer doing shelves, that's fine. I think, this is to each their own. But for our area, it gets kind of cold, and then it'll warm up a bit. So it's the bedded garden does better for me. And I've had 3 foot of snow in this greenhouse, and it will push it in a little bit, and then as soon as the snow melts, it pops right back up. So there's really no worries. This would be really good for up north. I'm in the tip of Virginia, southwest Virginia, so, but it does get pretty darn cold here. This past winter's been mild, but on the whole, it, minus 14, we get those a few days out of the year, and it usually will stay in the 20s during the winter. So it's held up really well. I've had it for 6 years. I used pressure treated wood. I had talked to my dad about it, and I let it season out. I had this wood for a little while, and but if you're worried about leaching chemicals or something into your soil, you could probably use cedar, something I don't know if you can see that cat back there. I think he's trying to get in. I run fans. I've had this fan in here forever. It looks awful. But that little booger's ran. But I do have a window in the back here that has one of these fans that you put in your windows in the house. I can open that back door and vent it. And sometimes I will around, I don't know if you can see around the door area. Over here I can show you too. Right here. I did have some stuff up that when it closed, it insulated it better for winter use. So, you know, it can be used in the winter. But pretty much you just make your beds and you bow over your wire. It bows very easily. It is a two-person job. Do not try to do it yourself, which I'm sure you could if you had a little bit more skill than I do. But it would have been too much for me. So my husband helped me. I do have a little bit of a water system. These are misters. Helps cool it down when it's really, really hot. And I got these off of eBay. I think I got all 3 of these tips for like $12.50. But the connectors at Lowe's, it cost me about $40 to buy those to get them set up, because they were like a half-inch threaded female. And God knows that ain't easy to hook up to a water hose. So, if you... There's a dog. Hey, Bandit. I do take I buy the 12-foot by 20-foot. And I roll it around a piece of wood down here. And then I screw them in. This stays tight. And just remember when you're doing your greenhouse though, to put it like where your winds are the worst, it will just bow right over this and it won't catch it to where you'll tear your cloth. What you doing up here? What are you doing? It's my kitty. He will climb up on it, and I haven't had a problem with them doing that yet, but probably will. I do have 2 layers on here right now because this was my old one that I've had on here for probably about 5 years. It still was in really good shape, so I just put this other one. I would advise if you're doing a 12-foot though to buy a 14-foot by 20 pool covering, because sometimes you see how it's a little bit shorter. It's a true 12, and these panels are like 4 foot 4 inches. He's scratching his claws. I just run a water hose all the way around. I think you can pretty much build anything with cattle panels. You probably could build a storage building or anything. I mean, possibilities probably pretty endless. I would stick with the pool coverings though, because they were just UV protected so much better than a regular tarp. Let's go out and around. I bought this at a yard sale for $1 years ago, and I know it's rusted, but it hangs on, well, not all of my tools, but a few of my tools, so where I can get to it easily. I built in a potting bench back here. And this is what I was talking about. You can open it up to vent the back. If I open it up, I usually set something here like a crate to hold the store because it's so heavy. I built it with 2x4s because that's the only thing I know how to build with. And as you can see up underneath it, it holds good weight though, because I sometimes will get up here. I did leave this open when I went back and did my side panels for ventilation, because sometimes it will get... This cat has now moved over here. My puppy. Get down, little boy. Can you hear him purr? quite a bit of a growing space though, and I mean for just a normal home gardener, if you're not. And these homes ones do really well in this outdoor thing. You wouldn't think it, but kind of impressed. Where you going? Kind of love him. Just love his little face. What you had? I have these big bronze, and I used them on this project because I bought them from a online store, and they were clearance, and I think I only paid like $5 a piece for them, which is crazy because I don't know if you can tell how big they are. They're really beautiful though. You wouldn't have to go to that extent. When I built my beds though, I did lay them on top of 4x4 pressure treated post. I laid them out, screwed them in, and that was my base. I haven't had any problem with you know, decay or anything, but it's only been here 6 years, and you know, pressure treated will last a little longer. But I did go over my sides a little bit. I liked a little bit of lap because when I added my polycarbonate panels, I just put it as tight as I could to this. I could imagine if you would, when I first did it, I had it bent over the side, and I had those pool noodles along the sides right here. I would advise that but they will deteriorate after about 5 or 6 years, so just keep that in mind. Ow. Ow. And I had my other tarp around it, but that pool noodle, and then I had it tied back in. I used these, and these are the, they're just like 1 1/4 screw. I like them decking screws from Lowe's. They do amazing. You don't get bad ones, and you won't wring nothing out. Ow. This cat is so mean. Okay, but these right here are roofing. Okay. Love you too. I didn't do them real tight. I just did it to where they'd hold it. This panel, I mean, it seems like it's going to hold up. We'll see over time. I'll be starting my garden here in about, start my seeds. I may do a video on it. I do it strangely, and but I always get really healthy tomato plants. So I used 2x4s and pretty much 4x4s, and that was about all. I'll do an update when I'm